Hi, I'm Woody Huffines. I own the Nerds to Go in McKinney and Frisco, Texas, and this is Tech for the Untechnical. How do the bad guys take over your bank account? So, how else can you lose control of your bank account or get your bank account hacked? We've got keyloggers and we've got mobile Trojan apps. And the next one would be phishing. We've talked about phishing a bunch of different times, but let's talk about phishing again. Remember that phishing is a way for someone to send you an email or an SMS message or a voicemail. It's a social engineering attack. And that is that they are asking you to do something that looks perfectly innocent, if not beneficial, that turns out to be a bad idea. Phishing emails and the phishing attacks remain very popular because, well, they work. Because we're human and because we want some things in our daily lives that phishing emails often offer us: a sense of security, solving a problem quickly, a sense of urgency. So when they put together a phishing email to try to get your information from you, they're doing the very best that they can to use human nature against you, either to cause you to have a sense of urgency. You get a notice or an email that's supposed to be from your bank account that says that you're overdrawn and that there's going to be a $400 charge if you don't take care of that immediately. And then that email has a link for you to follow to go take care of that. So you've got a sense of urgency. You want to avoid a loss. It can be something it preys on your fear that your bank account has been taken over. If you get an email that says your bank account has been compromised, please enter your password and your username now so that we can make sure that you are you, and it's in an email. It's that sense of urgency. That's one of those things that they're trying to drive you to do something and do something quickly. And that's what phishing does, is it uses your human nature against you to create a sense of urgency or a sense of convenience for you to do something that the bad guy wants you to do so that they can capture your bank account and your email. So, phishing is still popular with bad guys because phishing still works very well. There was an article that came out in the last couple of days. One of the security companies did a series of tests, and enterprise level businesses that do email phishing training to see if they're getting any better, and in fact they're getting worse. And we'll talk about that in just a second. But how do you avoid a phishing attack? Well, the best thing to do is remember that if you're in your email account, that you don't want to communicate with people who are important to you in terms of personally identifiable information or financial information through that email. Most emails now, most email clients now are HTML clients. They're just like a web page. They have HTML tags, those little things in the email that you can click in the email and it'll open a web page and take you someplace. So if you get an email that's supposed to be from your bank, it's very, very easy to click in that email to take you to your bank, unless it's not really your bank. So the first thing that you have to remember is if you're doing things in email, be very, very careful. In fact, I would say don't ever click on a link in an email that purports to be from your bank. It's just too hard because they might have a malformed web address, or the link might be bad. And there's ways that you can go look at all those things. I think it's a better idea to just more consistently, is if you get a link, if you get an email and it's supposed to be from your bank and it says there's a problem, do what we call separating the channels of communication. Don't call the number in that email. Don't click on the link in that email. Close your email client down, go to the web browser and find the link to your bank account. Type it in, go from a separate channel of communication, and then see if there's an overdraft, because if you can go sign on to your bank, you can look at your accounts. Better still, if you get an email that says there's a problem with your account, call the bank. Again, don't call the number that's in the email, call the bank. Look it up on Google, look it up in the phone book, call the bank and ask them if there's a problem. Separate those channels of communication. And if you separate those channels of communication, you'll be in much better shape to avoid a phishing attack on your account. And the last thing is, and we've mentioned it before, use multi-factor authentication if you can. And multi-factor authentication is where you enter your username and password, and then the bank sends you an SMS message on your phone. That second factor of authentication, if you do happen to slip up and you do happen to give the bad guys your username and password, if they try to use the username and password and they don't have access to your phone, they won't be able to log on because they don't have that second factor of authentication. Still not a good idea, still has some risks to it, but that's another way to avoid it. I'm Woody Huffines. I own the Nerds to Go in McKinney and Frisco, Texas. This has been Tech for the Untechnical. If you find these things fun or helpful, click on the subscribe button below, share them with your friends, ring the notification bell. When we put one out, you'll get notified and you can come watch them and learn along with us. Thanks for joining us.